there's a fob that's just south of Kabul on the main road, Highway 1 down there, near what we called the Dragon's Back. It was a little bit of terrain that kind of looked like a dragon laying down south of Kabul in Afghanistan. And there were typical Taliban checkpoints that would happen there, and the guys from the fob that were right there east of Highway 1 would get in their rigs, and they'd go out and move to contact to try to stir up a Taliban presence and get in a fight. So they're doing that, and this is one of our standard JTARs, the Joint Terminal Attack Request, I think.
That sounds right.
Name of that?
I'll buy that.
So that's the Army sends up a request for air support for doing their day-to-day operations. So they want air cover for this movement to contact, and they do it a couple times a week. So we know the JTACs, it's kind of a milquetoast type of thing. Anyways, the movement to contact actually turns out to bring contact. So they're getting pot shots from a tree line into their convoy. It's effective. It's hitting the vehicles, but everybody's inside. So they start calling out 9-line, and it's danger close stuff because they're right on either side of these trees. They're going down the road. And so I'm going to go mark first. I'm not going to shoot the gun first. I'm going to mark first and have the JTAC give me a correction off the Willie Pete marks. So I roll in with Willie Pete. Number 2 rolls in with gun off of the correction from the JTAC. And when this is my 4th deployment with the 303rd. So I've got one of the 303rd pilots on my wing. I'm the flight lead for the day. It's daytime, and it's a regular JTAC in the convoy with the good comm on the radio with me. He goes in, pulls the trigger. A-10 has 2 detents on the gun trigger. So precision attitude control is engaged when you go into the first detent. So you pull the trigger, first detent, the airplane is going to fix the ground to what's under the gun cross to what's under it on the ground. So it's going to move the flight controls to keep that thing going as you go down the chute. Second detent, the barrels start rolling and out comes the bullets. So when he goes into pack 2 on this pass, he has a whole bunch of things go wrong with the airplane. His precision attitude control quits working. He loses a generator. He loses a bunch of avionics, and he's still got his finger on the trigger. So the bullets from danger close range have now stopped being precision guided by precision attitude control and start spitting all over the way. He pulls probably 100 rounds after the malfunction. Not that I would have done anything different. I'm not calling him out on this at all.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this happen, and he says, "Hey, I got this error going on." I'm like looking at the bullet impacts, and I'm like waiting for the next radio call, man. I'm like, holy shit, dude, what happened? He's like, "I got this going on. I don't know. I can't even tell what's going on with the jet. What is wrong?" I'm like, "Climb, get out of my way." So get him above me in the stack. I come back around and the JTAC calls up, "Hey, that was good hits. Let's do another one." I'm like, I'm glad that happened.
Better lucky than good, man.
Yeah. So danger close inside. We're probably 45, 50 meters at the time from the origin that they were calling out for the bad guys to where their nearest friendly was. We were not shooting at that close of a range yet, but that was our target call out. We were kind of stepping into that tree line by doing the Willie Pete first and the first pass. So pretty nerve-wracking watching that gun kind of go crazy. The rest of that mission, I clear him off. He goes home, and there's no backup. So I've got to manage the data flow and the targeting on my own with no backup for the remainder. So I end up doing a couple more Willie Pete runs just to verify the discussion. I'm doing some gun runs there. One of the things that I need to do is verify the target. So the JTAC sends comm that he's going to mark the target with smoke. So they've got those M206 grenade launchers on their M4s or whatever. And so they put a smoke canister in there and pop, I think it was green smoke. And again, I've told this story before and it's on the record. So I'm probably changing the colors of the smoke and it's not intentional.
We get it. It's everybody. He's getting older, right?
Yeah.
It happens.
I'm getting older.
Yeah.
So he marks with this grenade launcher, and I'm like, all right, tally smoke, rolling in, visual friendlies, cleared hot. So I shoot the smoke, good hits. Come back, and they are continuing to move, and he tasks another guy in the convoy to do the marking for the next one because he's out of the way. He can't mark well. So this time it's yellow smoke. And I roll in on the next one, and something ain't right. Something is not right. So I come off dry, and I clarify. Well, the guy that was tasked to do the marking misunderstood the intent, and he marked his own position with yellow smoke. So I'm very thankful that the hair stood up on the back of my neck with no mutual support. And I decided to stay dry on that pass and wait for another sentence or two of clarifying comm. And he came back and said, yeah, he marked his own. He popped a canister, just a handheld, and marked his own position. So it's good to flying the A-10 is good to be able to see things. But when it's a moving convoy through, a road that's got trees on either side, it's not 100%. I did not have, every single bad guy. You can't really see their personal body. You can't see them. It's where you're too far away. I could see vehicles, but not all of them at all the different angles because of the tree lines. So I see that smoke and I'm like, that's not tracking with what I'm thinking. So kind of reattacked, marked it a different way, and then that was my last pass. Once we did that, one more guns run on a freshly marked bad guy instead of the previously marked good guy.
Man,
that one stuck with me.
Yeah, that could be tragic. I'll say my story that kind of ties to that. And I think it alludes to the point of, obviously being super experienced, going down like some sideways can happen real quick. But SA is, I guess, the gift you give yourself, or listen to the hairs, or, listen to that inner voice when the hairs in the back of your neck stand up. I was with Poker, and I just saw him. My squadron patch. He and I have been flying a bunch together. It was nighttime. We're up near Erbil, and we're watching it was like 12, 15, I don't know, I think ish, ISIS dudes who were just loading up boats and floating them across the river to this other dock and just going back and forth. And you can see weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a new ground force commander, Poker. He's like, dude, just give me type 3 control, and we'll just destroy all these guys, right? Like, nope. They just want one bomb, and it was a riverbank. From the targeting pod, what it looks like, it was a significant hill that went down from where they're loading, maybe like, I don't know, 15, 20 feet, but it dropped down into the river. So they're having to work back, and there's a tree line, and they were just all in this tree line right up against the river as they were moving through it. So you're like, we can wipe off the tree line and then problem solved. Like, no, we just want one bomb, and it's going to be bomb on coordinate. So we had to wait. I go off to the tanker, and I'm just listening, get the coordinates, I jam it in my system, and I'm coming back. Poker is swung out, set in strike posture. He's out like 15 miles or whatever he's doing. And I come back into the wheel, and I'm like, did these guys move? Like, I'm looking, I don't know. Again, you don't have the necessary map. I'm like, we're miles away from where we were, and I'm looking at a farmhouse right now. And Poker obviously aborts, starts talking to the JTAC. And the JTAC like, oh, my bad. I swapped 2 numbers. But you're like, I don't know, maybe that bomb would have hit outside the fence or what, it probably been a non-factor other than the fact we dropped the bomb in the wrong spot. But you're like, dude, if you just let us generate our own
Bomb on
coordinates.
target, man. Go bomb on target.
And just like, we could have solved all these problems, but it's like, no, we want to have control over this. And like, also the coordinate that they ended up giving us, like it dropped on top of the hill. So like it did nothing.
If you miss, you really miss.
Yeah. So whatever. But again, I guess listen to the spidey senses.
Yeah. Speaking of missing your target, some news came out today about Korea. Big surprise. I spent a year in Korea. A ROCAF F-16 dropped 8 Mark 82 lives outside of the range when they were doing an exercise jointly with the United States. Blew up some houses and injured some people.
I have not been on the news today. I'm pulling that up right now. It did injure people?
Yeah.
Oh,
they didn't say that anybody died, but there were 15 injured from live Mark 82s, 6 of them from a Viper.
So when I showed up to the Shaw, we might or might not have had someone sling, BLA 50s. That's 500 pound, right?
Yeah.
Concrete, yeah. So diving attack.
It's better that they don't explode.
Better they don't explode. And then miles off the range.
Yeah.
Into the wetlands, like nothing was there. Yeah. So a couple winds there. It went into the swamp. Also, they were concrete, not into a
That's like that. That's like the inadvertent pickle on the safe escape. Like you're up 20 degrees nose high at 450 knots.
I think that's what this was at Shaw.
Yeah.
It's like, it was another squadron.
I think I heard about that one.
So, all right, South Koreans KF-16s actually discharged 8 bombs on a village on Thursday. Ooh.
Whoops. Yeah.
Yikes.
Call
Tell you what you don't want,
booting.
Snapper. You do not want that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
2. Okay, it says 2. Yeah. All right, we'll have to dig more into that, but that's
that had to be 2 airplanes on the same target, right? You don't carry 8.
Yeah, I mean,
so lots of messing up going on for that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a long debrief. We're gonna have to
We're gonna have to get a sandwich. It's gonna be a long debrief.
Get some more chalk out here so we can chalk this one up. Yeah, yikes! I think it's probably got. Yeah, let's see the picture. I'm sure it's a great picture. Oh, it's actually South Korean jets. It looks like. I was like, I figured it'd be. Yeah, who knows, man. Well, hey, good segue there. Things you don't want to happen for $500, please.